Okay. Oh, that's fun. I don't know why that's on. Okay. All right, here we go. So we are gonna be doing our bath first. I know we did bathing already, but I wanted to make sure that this one was clean before we did clipping. So because we are going to be keeping the hair, we are gonna bathe first. If you are not keeping the hair, you want to clip first. Okay, so it's up to you. And we're gonna be talking about clipping at the end, so you'll see how that looks. Okay, I'm getting all his gear off. And again, it's so important that you secure the dog when you do any kind of grooming of the dog, because nobody wants to be hurt. The dog doesn't want to be hurt, and I don't want you hurt. So here we go. Oh my goodness, here we go. I was late getting on, so I just tried to do it on the fly. Okay, so we got him in here and we're gonna go ahead and bathe him. What I am bathing him with, this is from Walmart. It is a whitening shampoo, odor eliminating. So what I am using to bathe him with is just one of these that you can get at Walmart. You can do it like that. Depending on the size of the dog, you can do it in your sink. So whatever works for you. I know. And usually none of them like a bath, right? This one likes grooming more than the other one. So that's why we're doing him today. But as you can tell, he doesn't like grooming either. Doesn't want to be bathed. That's okay. He doesn't have to like it. He just has to be safe doing it, right? Okay, so we want to make sure that when you wash, you're going to also make sure that you rinse completely. When the dog is not rinsed completely, you end up with a lot of the dry skin and dander that gets accumulated. You want to make sure that you get the sanitary areas, and we're going to be talking about sanitary clips later on in some of the videos, so you want to stay tuned for that. You want to also make sure that you get in the armpits. They get a lot of matting in the armpits. We are going to make sure that we touch on those. As you can see, this dog has the browning of the fur on the paws, and you want to make sure that you touch on that. The whitening shampoo helps. You also want to make sure, and as you can see, he's already thrashing about, and if he wasn't tethered, you would just be a mess and everybody would not be okay. So I'm making sure that I wash on the face where we see a lot of the red hairs. And again, we would be, because we're from the shop and we have a shop, this is something that I don't normally do. I don't normally bathe dogs out of my tub at home. But now that we're all sheltering in place, I'm trying to do things that would be easy for you to be able to duplicate at home. So he is getting his bath. He's making sure that with the whitening shampoo, especially on a light colored dog, you want to touch on all of these brown areas. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and once you've gotten all over, you're going to go ahead and rinse off. Now, of course, he didn't like the water, so we're going to go ahead and get him done as soon as possible. And you can see he's not super dirty. We did bathe both of our candidates right before the shelter-in-place order, so he's not super dirty. And again, they don't all like it, but it makes it so much better if they're controlled and you're able to go as quickly as possible. The goal is for their safety, your safety, and the speed of doing this, because if they don't like it, then the best thing to do is to get it done as quickly as possible, right? Okay, so we're almost done. Taking care, this dog doesn't have ear infections. If you have dogs, we've had dogs in the shop that do have ear infections, you can always put a little bit of cotton ball in there and try to make sure that happens. When you're doing this, you always want to try to make sure that you're getting all the shampoo out of the head, but you don't want the water to directly flow into their eyeballs, obviously. So just take care to try and be as considerate as possible. And of course, making sure that you get that sanitary area because all of that's just dragging around your house. Nobody wants that. Again, making sure you get the armpit areas because we again are going to try and make sure we get rid of all those mats in there. Okay. And as you can see, I have a towel right here on my knees so as to help me to not hurt my knees, but also that my towel is at the ready because you want to have everything ready to go as quickly as possible. That's your goal. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the head off first. When you take the head off first, he's still controlled. You're able to put the towel over the head, and then you're able to release the back end. And again, we're bathing dogs that are not our own, so they don't always like us very much. So we try to do the most that we can as quickly as we can to avoid any kind of injury. So let me take you with me. All right, and we're going to the kitchen where we're going to be doing the drying. I'm going to see how that's going to go. All right, so I knew where I was going to put the camera. Didn't. There we go. All righty. There we go. Okay, and the camera's in the right spot. Again, we are on, this one is a higher table because of what we're going to try and do up here with the drying. And again, the most important thing is to have the dog secured. So we're going to go ahead and get him secured. And what I did to secure it, again, I still have my, this is a, what do you call it? Laundry hanger where you would hang your clothes to dry on hangers. And this is a higher table, so it's able to be a little higher for me right now because I'm going to be drying him and I need him to be at eye level for what I'm going to be doing. Alrighty. And you may notice that's why I'm in the smock. I am allergic to dogs, by the way. And so it is super important for me to be able to, oh, yeah, that didn't work, did it? For me to be able to not have too much hair. So that's why I've got the thing around my neck. We couldn't order any of the masks at this time, obviously. So I purchased these before everything shut down. And actually, I think you can't even get these now. So it's kind of crazy. Okay. Maybe that's better. All right. And then this one. Okay. Nope. Higher. Okay. And I know a lot of you may think, oh, that's not necessary. I don't need to do that. My dog is fine. Honestly, it's not so much for your dog as for yourself. It really is important that you're able to secure the dog correctly and completely, because if you can't, then what happens is something could happen to the dog, and nobody wants that, right? So for me, what I'm going to be doing is getting this set up. So this is, just wanted to be able to show you guys, these are these neck things. If you're doing it right, there's going to be a ton of hair. So I did just the brushing yesterday, the other day, and I had just too much hair. I couldn't deal with it. And in the shop, I normally wear a mask and I wear the safety goggles just because of my allergies. I got 9 of these on Amazon for one price. I don't know if they're still available. I'll include the link for that. Okay, so I saw this online and I was super excited. So what this is a setup for you to be hands-free while you are, and you see he's already not wanting to be up here. So it's super important that you have him secured. All right. For you to be able to be hands-free with your dryer. And you may not think that's important, but it is super important because the need for you to be able to have 2 hands to be able to do all that you need to get done will help you to be able to do that with your hand being off. He is just not working with me with this. Let me see. Oh, there's one. I left his correction chain in the bathroom. Okay, here we go. So for you that are watching, this was a harness, and I attached it to the dryer just so I could be hands-free. And I'll show a different video on how to do that because it was like a whole process. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to have to be this. Okay. And this is, I guess, the biggest part is me being able to get this correctly, huh? Okay. My apologies. Again, this is not something that we normally do. Everything is set up in the shop. But you may find that this is also your most difficult thing to do is get your dog tethered and secured. But I can't stress again how important it is to have your dog tethered and secured. Okay, he is good now because he can't move. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is, there. I'm going to be using, this is the Furminator comb that we had last time. We're going to go ahead and brush him through as we're drying. I have my earplugs because the dryer is obviously right here by my head and it's a little loud. So we're going to go ahead and put my earplugs in and I'm going to dry him. It's super important that you dry completely. And again, if you guys have any questions or comments, I know I can see you, so let me see. Comments will appear here. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to add them in. And I will try to answer as I see them, okay? Okay. And there is a list of all the other different videos that we're going to be doing in the up and coming. So if you don't see something, your top tube is out. Your top tube is out. Oh, this one. Is that what you're talking about? Maybe. I don't know what that means. Let's see. Here we go. I know, you're pretty happy about this, aren't you? Okay. Here we go. Hold on, let me try and get it from behind. On the laundry bar. I popped up. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, here we go. Okay, and then this is backwards. For you guys to see it, I put a collar around the front, as you can see here, and then I put a collar around the handle, and then this is supposed to go behind. So obviously we don't have to do this at the shop, but here it's super important for us to be able to have everything secured. So let me see if I can get this on. My goal was to have this all done. Here we go. Okay, there we go. And here we go. So this is why I wanted the table higher, because I wanted to be able to do this from up here. And Griselda and Maria are both watching. I see them on. Thank you so much for joining in. I tried this before. There it goes. As you can see, I don't know if they saw. There we go. Keeping the dryer this far back also makes sure that you're not burning the dog. Keeping the dryer this far back also makes sure that you're not burning the dog. So it makes it, because their skin is so much more frail than ours is, you can't have that dryer really close. My little can for my hair. Oh, my daughter's watching. Hi, Trin. This is that rake brush. We're going to try this one, see if it helps with any of the matting. Yes, Marvin is matted, Griselda. So timing myself, that took me about, I think 15, 20 minutes. I'm not sure if I started at 12:15 or 12:20. But I did want to show you this because I'll probably forget to do another video after. So this was a collar. No, stop. This was a collar, and I put the loop of the collar around the handle of the dryer, and then I buckled it in to itself, okay? And then, no, actually, okay. So I put the loop of the collar around the dryer, and then I buckled another collar to that same collar. So there's two collars. And this one went around my neck, and then this one is the buckle to the one that's around the handle of the dryer. And so I just was able to put the two together. So if you want to remind me, I can do another video on it later, but that's pretty much what I did, and it worked really, really well. Now, in the shop, we have industrial dryers, grooming dryers, so that's not such a big issue. When we use our dryers in the shop, it actually pulls out almost all of our knots. We don't have as bad a matting. But this dryer doesn't have that kind of strength, so the brushing is absolutely necessary. And it's, as you can see, impossible to do the brushing if you only have one hand. So that's why we do, that's why this was so important. So I'm hoping that that helps somebody. Okay, so as you can see, he is all dry. It's important that he's all dry before you get started, because if you don't do him completely dry, what's going to happen is that you're going to get all clogged up and it's not going to be well and you're going to have a problem. And so we don't want to do that. So what I wanted to show you guys, and what I'm going to do for you guys so you can see the difference, is we have two different sets of clippers. Now, before I started with Griselda at Park Avenue, I had a set of clippers. I did my own dogs. I do basics assistance dogs, and so I would maintain the grooming to the best of my ability. I wasn't a groomer at that point. So I just had these wall clippers, and I think I got them at Walmart, and they were like 25, 30 bucks or something. They weren't super expensive. We're going to show the difference between these and a good set of clippers. So if this is something you decide you want to continue to do, it would behoove you to get a good set of clippers. These are Andis. What you can see as the difference, and what we talked about before, is the cheaper set of clippers have guard combs that go over the blade that is fixed to the clippers. The better set of clippers have blades that you attach on, and then you put the guard comb on top of the blade. So we're going to see the difference between the two. And being that we're not shaving him completely, we want to keep his hair. Marvin is one of our basics assistance dogs that Maria that's from Park Avenue is training, and he is ready for placement actually. So we're hoping that as he gets more visible in the community, that we find him his permanent home. Okay, so we'll start with the cheaper set. And with that, we're going to make sure that we use one of our longer set of guard combs. So like if I were to just use this, it's going to give me the skin. This is the shortest that they have. And to adjust the different size blades, they have one. And you can see the length on that. They have two, length on that, three, length on that, and four. Now, when you're starting this, you want to start with the longest blade if you're going to cut your dog. You want to start on the longest that they have because, I mean, if you're wanting to keep their hair, obviously. If you're not, then you just go with the skin and have at it. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to do one side with this and then the other side with the better set and see if you can tell the difference, okay? So here I am. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to start going down. Now see, this 4 is not taking off any of our hair. See, very little hair. So we know that we can go a little shorter because obviously the goal would be that we take off some hair, right? Okay, so that was my 4, so now I'm going to go to a 3. Okay? Okay, so here we go. And as you can see, still not taking off too much hair. So 3, and just so we can also say, Marvin is a great grooming dog. He wasn't liking it at first and he was kind of antsy, but he's not my dog. So for him to be this good is great. We normally, a dog that would not like being groomed would be muzzled. We'd muzzle them in the shop because for our safety, for their safety as well, if they're muzzled, they're more controlled, which calms them down, which helps us to get done quicker, which helps them to get back to you quicker. So a muzzle is not a bad thing. I also tell my clients that we train their dogs. A muzzle will increase the ability for the dog to train quicker. And that's our goal, is for us to get your dog groomed as quickly as possible, as safely as possible for us and them. So again, I just wanted to give Marvin props because he did great without a muzzle. So that was 3. So let's try 2. Okay, here we go. Maybe 2 will take off some more hair. Okay, as we're seeing, it's getting stuck, and that's kind of what happens with a cheaper set of clippers. But it's doing an okay job. I mean, it's not. And it could just be because I'm used to using the better set of clippers now from the shop. So as you can see, this one's taking off some hair. And you're always going with the grain of the hair. So I'm going, this is the way the coat is going. Oh, I unplugged this up. Okay. I'm going with the grain of the coat. So you're always wanting to go with the grain. Yeah. So yeah, this is taking off some. It's getting stuck a little. I can put some oil in it. Let me get some oil to put in it. Sit. Don't move. Okay. This is the coconut oil I use for my dogs. We add coconut oil into their food. So, and no, this is not the correct oil for it, and I'm sure there's some bad situation in it. And let's get all the hair out because that prevents a smooth cut. Okay. And I tried to keep as much hair contained as possible, but there is definitely hair. So, okay, here we go. And as you can see, that makes the blade go much easier, smoother through. It's getting more stuck on the bottoms where his feet are a little wet still, but always wanting to go with the grain of the hair. Okay. I'm feeling like I could go shorter. I'm going to go to a 1 and see if we can see the difference with that 1, okay? We as just the trainers of the candidates, we didn't want to clip them off with all their hair because we know that whoever we place them with might want to keep their hair, so we've tried to keep their hair as long as possible. My wire is stuck. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is taking off more than this is probably where I would want it. The goal when you're grooming your dog is that you want it to look like you're actually doing something, so that would be important. Yeah, this is taking off a good amount. I'm happy with that. So this is with the not super expensive set of clippers, okay? So now I'm going to switch over and we're going to do the more expensive set. The Andis clippers are what we use in the shop. Clippers just want to be on. Okay, and again with these, we always use they have the clippers that have the blades that come off. When you're going to use a guard comb on these, you're going to put the 10 blade on first. It slips right in on the little handle, and then it just closes. We used a short side. We used a short one on the other side, so let's use a short one on this side. Pretty comparable. Let me show you the difference. So, pretty much the same, as you can see. Okay. So we do want to make sure that, or maybe this one's more of it. Yeah, no, I'm good with this. So the numbers are different when you use the Andis. All the numbers are different comparing on what type of clippers you use. So the guard combs on the walls, this was a 1. The guard combs on the Andis, this is a 4. So we can do a different tutorial at another point in time going through all the different sets of clippers and the blades and what to do to achieve them. And let's look at this. Hi, Sandra. So as you can see, this cuts right through. It cuts like butter. Now, it could be that oh, you can't see it. Sorry. Here we go. See? Just a great cut. Super easy, smooth, and goes right through. Now, being that my other set was older and I don't normally use it, on the hanger. I don't know what Linda was saying on the hanger. I'm here. Sandra's here. Okay, you might just see that, I mean, this is great, and it might be to your benefit if you're gonna have to groom your dogs and you don't mind spending a little more. This set, I think I saw one on Amazon for like 60 or between 60 and 100. That might be more than you want to spend, but honestly, the ease and I mean, it's just better. It's just better. And honestly, you would be spending that much, like butter, exactly. It would be spending that much to be able to groom your dog at the shop. It would be to your benefit to get a pair of clippers that, even though you won't use them all the time, in the event of an emergency, you could actually use them. So, I mean, there's just no comparison. This is just... And granted, like I said, I hadn't been using my other set for a long time. I've been working with Bark Avenue since August. So I haven't used that set in a long time, so I can't say how wonderful they are. These are, like I said, Mark, thanks so much for asking. These are Andis, and we use these at the shop. So, and I have a 4 guard comb on it right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and go through. Again, always going with the grain of the coat. There we go. Okay. I think you can see better. There we go. We're not going to do a complete grooming. A complete grooming would be clipping down his face, doing his feet, doing his sanitary area. I'm not doing all that. I'm just doing the body today because the other videos that we're going to be doing are include those things. So I need to have him able to do those. So if I do them all, then he won't have anything to see. So this one, like I said, like Griselda's saying, I mean, I can't stress it enough. The clippers work really, really well. And the only reason I used this guard comb was because it was comparable to the other one, but I mean, this actually is a little shorter than I would have wanted, but we're not going to get him. Hopefully he will get placed before he needs his next cut. All of our candidates, this again, just in case you weren't here for it, this is Marvin. He is a purebred Shih Tzu. He is trained by us there at Bark Avenue and Basics Assistance. We are doing a fundraiser for the cost for his training. So as if anyone is interested in his placement, we would be collecting funds to be able to help with that training. We've already did the month of board and train. So he's completed, he's progressed in Canine Good Citizen and he's progressed in his house training. And all of our dogs that we train come with free training for the life of the dog. So our goal is that they place with someone that is wanting to have a dog that's well trained. It's totally different than having a dog that is just, yes, my husband wants to go to the fridge, so don't worry about him if you see him. I don't think he will. So all of our dogs come with free training for the life of the dog. We want to make sure that all of our clients that take in any of our candidates are successful with that placement. My husband's so good. He's the one that does the cooking, and he has allowed me to be in the house. Normally I would groom in the garage, but it's a little difficult to see in the garage, and it's a little difficult being that I don't normally do it anymore. Nothing is set up the way it used to be. I can't tell you how awesome this can is. I think I'm going to use it even when we go back to the shop. Stuffing all the hair in one spot just makes things so much easier. But again, we're just wanting to make sure that the dog is even all over. So again, you're just going over and over, making sure that your cut is even. And like I said, we're not going to do face, feet, or fanny. I'm not going to do the tail. I think I have the tail as a different video as well. But I can answer any questions anybody has. And my goal would be to be done in an hour. So being that, like I said, I groom at the shop, we want to get the dogs done as quickly as possible. We don't want them to be with us any longer than they have to be. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to you. But again, sometimes it can't be helped. So if your dog is not controlled in the shop, that makes it take longer. So it really, really, really benefits if your dog is not good with grooming, that you get them accustomed to a muzzle, that we are not the first people that put them in a muzzle, because it just makes it easier for them. It makes it easier for us. It helps us to get done quicker. Also, if your dog is really matted, if you're not able to maintain your dog in between groomings, then that takes longer also. And again, our goal is for us to get your dog done as quickly as possible. We want the dog to be done quickly, safely, and back to you as soon as possible. But since we're sheltering in place and we can't do that right now, then that's why we're trying to help you guys with these tutorials. So I'm hoping that you guys will get that done. So as you can see in here, I'm also doing the belly. And before we're done, I am going to do the armpits. I'm going to show you that because I don't think I made that its own video. Okay. And again, just going with the grain of the hair. And you can see there's still matting in the front. And just go ahead and shave right over that. I should have put a mat up here. I didn't think of that. I have one right outside. I'll have to do that next time. So yeah, a mat on the table maybe so they don't slip. I didn't think of that. Because again, we groom at the shop. We don't groom at home. So this is not my normal setup. But as I'm doing this, hopefully you'll get some good ideas so you can avoid these situations. Obviously, you're not going to be videoing when you groom your dog, so you can have a different setup than I do. And we're about 5 minutes from our done mark. I think I took 5 minutes just getting him attached to the table, so that's always a pain. I'm sorry about that. Again, if there's any questions, I would love to answer any questions anybody might have. But this just goes so much quicker if your dog is controlled. It's so important that your dog is controlled. If your dog is not set somewhere that he's controlled, then what happens is, and as you can see, after a bit, because he does have matting, we still get that clumping in there. You want to make sure that you pull that out. Don't keep going. It'll give you an uneven cut. We just want to make sure that we can answer any questions you may have and be set for success until we can get your dog back in the shop. This will hopefully prevent you from having to deal with your pet not being sanitary during these shelter-in-place times. And again, I'm just going with the grain of the coat. And again, well, with this tether here, it's going to be a little difficult. I'm going to pull off that tether in just a sec. We're still doing with the grain right here on the feet. He's got a little bit of matting on the inside of his leg. Those are key spots. I'm not doing a sanitary, which would include grooming on the inside by the genital area. And he does have some matting on the inside of his leg. And we will be working with scissors in upcoming videos, so if you have the desire to do that, that's a possibility. I'm going to go 5 minutes over because I think I took 5 minutes getting him attached to the table. So let me go ahead and take off this one. And I'm just going to scoot it down, because he still needs a little bit of encouragement to stay in place. So all I'm going to do is scoot it down so it's under his armpit. If he lets me, there we go. Okay. So I just scooted it down so it's under his armpit. And here we go. This is the area underneath the tether that you couldn't see. Careful here. That's why I pulled him straight, so you have a straight cut. Okay? And again, that's why the guard comb is so important. We see that there is some matting on that area. Like I said, we're not going to do that right now. We'll do it in the next video. This is just for me to be able to give a straight cut on the leg. I'm going to try and gather up some of this hair for my husband, because I know he can't stand the hair in his kitchen. He's being so kind to let me do this. Okay. Nobody has any questions still, okay? We're almost there, buddy. You're doing great. And again, he is a great dog. He has let me do all of this grooming. And he's not my dog, so he doesn't know me. And honestly, sometimes they're better when they're not your dog, I know. But again, being that we're sheltered in place, you can't do your dog, so hopefully this will help you get your dog done. I know he might look incomplete because we're not doing different areas for the other videos. But I just wanted you to be able to see that you could, within an hour, get your dog from washed to dried and completely, well, at least the body, completely done. And for the tail, we tend to just go, I tuck the tail, and I'll do this end right here. Oh, let me get the other side. And again, this is not doing the sanitary. The sanitary is a much closer cut. This is just getting them even. Okay, 5 more minutes. So if I were to get him complete, it would probably take me another half hour. That would be me doing the feet, the face, the fanny. We would clean his ears. We would clean his teeth, do his nails, express the anal glands. And again, all those are different videos that we're going to be doing. But I can't do everything in one video, otherwise we're going to be here forever, right? So this is enough for today. And I feel good with that. Let me go ahead and... So when I do around the neck, this area, I do try and get right behind his ears. And then I'm just going to go all the way around. This is not shaping his face. This is just getting us even. And like I said, we're going to do shaping his face on a different video. So this is just hitting the back of the neck and the back of the ears. And again, he's not completely done because we're going to leave him undone for the other videos. But yeah, 1 hour and you have your dog almost there. Pretty good done. So I'm hoping that this helped you guys to be able to see that you can groom your dog too. I know this is a longer video, but I think it answered a lot of the questions that are out there. Yes, you can get a lesser expensive set of clippers, and if they're brand new, they should last you a while. If they're not brand new, then they might not last very long. Getting a better set of clippers will probably last you longer in the long run. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you on Friday. Thanks so much.